this is Annette with Sun to Shine Astrology and Tarot, and welcome to Self-Care Sunday. Every week I put out a video to help you prepare your energy for the week ahead. And this video is very specific. I've put out 2 other videos regarding some of the major energies that's going to be going down this week, because this is the week before the election and emotions are running high and energy is running high, and I thought that we just needed a little bit of extra focus on how to stay positive during this energy. So on October 27th, we had Mercury enters Libra, which is in retrograde, and Venus enters Libra on the same day. Separate video for that. And then that was the first part. Second part was October 29th. There was there's an exact quincunx between Jupiter and Capricorn and the North Node in Gemini. That would be part 2. And this is part 3. The full moon that's going to be in Taurus. This full moon is a blue moon, which means there are 2 full moons in 1 month. This is the Hunter's moon. This is also a moon that only happens once every 18 to 19 years. So it deserves its own video for sure. This is Samhain for all you people who love Wicca. And this is what you welcome what you've harvested for the year. It is the thinnest veil between the spirit world and the physical realm. So a lot of people do rituals and offerings regarding their loved ones. And then this is the halfway point between 2 years. So we've got a lot to cover. So welcome to pile 1. You guys chose, and you guys did an unboxing. This is the Dark Mansion Tarot. Right? Yeah, Dark Mansion Tarot. And I did an unboxing because this was my dream deck. My absolute dream deck, and I got it. I've been wanting this for like 2 years, I think. And it's expensive, and I've got the large version, but it's so beautiful. And you guys got the world. Now the world is a completion. The world is, you've expanded your boundaries and you've reached and attained some goals. And kind of like the world is your oyster at this point. It's the ultimate completion because it's the completion of the major arcana, which means you have went through a very, very long cycle of ups and downs to get to the point to where you are at this precipice, where you are at this point where you get to have this completion. Now, if you think about it, if this full moon in Taurus comes around once every 18 to 19 years, maybe you guys have been going through something for 18 to 19 years. And you are just now learning a lot about, who you value, what you value. Sorry, I just remembered I didn't have my mic on. So, who you value, what you value, why you value it. This may have a lot to do with places where you weren't valued by others, and now people are just starting to realize just how valuable you are. This could have a lot to do with issues that you couldn't quite commit to, but now you can, and you're conquering it, and you're transforming those areas in your life. The World card is a very blessed card. It's a very benefic card in the major arcana. So let's take a look at your soul card here. And if you look at this, you can see this little demon. But if you look at him, he is not scared. This is soul cards 1. He's not scared of this little demon. To me, this looks like you've tamed something. Now, the opposing energy, the sun is in Scorpio. So the opposing energy of this energy is when you have fears they control you. But in this particular energy, it doesn't control you. You've tamed it. You have beat this issue. And you recognize the fear for what it is. You understand that it's kind of like always there, but you've tamed it. I think of like an alcoholic. They really, once they face that they're an alcoholic or a drug addict, and they've become sober, they realize that Achilles heel, that is always there, but they've tamed it. They've got it under control. So it's something that is very, it's something that has also, I feel like, has impacted your physical realm. It has stood in the way. It's been an obstacle that you are now getting a hold of. So what's your guys' tea for the week? Wealth. Wealth to me means a lot of things. Wealth means, of course, financial abundance, but wealth means financial security and stability. It means that you're able to be solid and secure, that you have planned well, and that you make really good decisions in the material realm. So maybe that's where you guys used to not be so good at it. The material realm used to throw you, and now you're starting to figure it out. You have desk. Pay attention to your work. Maybe some of you are very, very into your work, into your career, into building a life for yourself at work. This is very money-oriented, career-oriented, I'm feeling. This is handshake. A meeting with a stranger could be important. Well, this is, Mercury is in Libra and Venus is in Libra. I'm feeling like this handshake that they're talking about, this stranger, it could be somebody who is just unusually familiar to you. You meet somebody and it's like you've kind of known them forever, or you guys just click and have a really good understanding. Handshakes also have to do with legal agreements and commitments, and that is very much regulated by this moon. You want to be mindful of meeting somebody who talks a good game in this kind of energy, because there's some pretty serious energy out there. I feel like you used to fall for things and you don't anymore anyway. So scales, keep your life in balance. This has everything to do with Libra season. So Libra energy is a very important energy because it's our relationships, partnerships, bonds, and unions. It's what we want to attract in the physical realm. And so if you're wanting wealth, you know, in order for you to be wealthy, you have to give to receive. That would be one kind of, that would be like one example of the scales. And then we have hammock. Taking a vacation physically or mentally, that is what is in balance when we're talking about balance. If you guys are workaholics, if you're working really hard, you're scared, so you're overcompensating at work. Because you really honestly have really, when I think of the world, I think of somebody who just has huge dreams and huge ambitions, and somebody who really just wants to go out there and conquer the world. Be sure that you balance that with mental peace as well, and physical peace. You guys, for your spirit animal, got the cobra, which is a fire sign. Kind of looks fierce. Okay, guys, so we're going to read about your cobra here. Oops. Okay. Ooh, I turned almost right to it. Okay, let's pull him up so you can stare at him while I am reading. Pausing, waiting, the inner teacher. The cobra represents a teacher or a spiritual guardian. The cobra hovers and watches, ever present, ever protecting, and ever loving. The essence of the cobra is found deep within us in the form of the inner teacher. It manifests externally in those special guides who've led us along our path. What would it feel like to be a student again? What are you ready to learn? Remember the old saying, when a student is ready, the teacher appears. It says, when in balance, you are a student for life, humble and wise. And when out of balance, you're a know-it-all. Egocentric. He definitely looks egocentric. Look at that face. Okay. All right, guys. So we're going to do a little numerology. You guys got love and partnership, 26. But this also is balance. This 2 is a 1 and a 1, and this 6 is a 3 and a 3. And if you add them together, it's a 4 and 4. So for some of you, maybe some of you lost power. Maybe some of you were easily led in the wrong direction by relationship, partnerships, bonds, and unions. But because you have the World card, you guys have more balanced relationships, or you seek more balance in relationships. That would be some of this Libra energy. The Mercury enters Libra energy, which is in retrograde. You may have had a propensity to do something in relationships that you no longer do, and you have some control over that. So guys, on that little note, I am going to pull out the Ghost Tarot. It's like, I love this so much. So I was going to give away this deck. I mean, I was going to send it back because of quality issues, but I did that once before, and then I couldn't rebond with that new deck. Like, the deck that I had got originally was for me. So like, even though this has quality issues, I can't send it back because it speaks to me on just a whole new level. It's my shadow working deck. I'll probably always use it. So we're just going to put it into 3s. And this one I just read upright because it's enough shadow. We don't need to do anything really crazy with that. Oh, you guys got the World again in shadow. Oh my gosh, this is super interesting. So let's take a look at these up close. So this would, of course, be kind of like the beginning of the week, midweek, and end of week. On the full moon, you guys really have some energy. Sorry, I'll try to hold this up so you can see it without a glare. You guys, let's see here. Let's take a look at the beginning of the week. We have the Emperor. And the Emperor represents stability. So in the past, you may have been led by others. You may have put somebody else in charge of your life. And because we had the love and the partnership there, as well as balance, I'm thinking that some of you may have either let people, positions of authority, kind of delegate you and your direction, or for some of you, it could have been a father, an overbearing father, wanted you to go into a specific direction. For some of you, it could have been a partner, primarily a masculine energy that was very dominant and controlling. Really own your energy. So we're going to do the light and the dark, by the way, which was inspired kind of by the Zen Witch. She's like one of my favorite YouTubers, but just because it kind of works out with this reading as well. I just decided I don't plan anything in advance, guys. I just go with the flow. And whatever the cards tell me to do, I do. And then I just thought of like, it would be kind of fun to do that. So we have the 4. I want you guys to pay attention to the fact that we have 2 4s. So we have the 4 of Swords, and then the ruler of the 4s, which is the Emperor. And when you have that, this is, you get to rest and relax and rejuvenate after a long period of losing power. I think in the past, some of you didn't know how to maintain your power. You didn't have a lot of very good nights, restful nights, that's for sure. And so I think for some of you, like in the past, you had a lot of maybe anxiety issues, sleep issues. It's kind of like when you go to bed and your mind is so overwhelmed by what happened to it that you just can't sleep. But for some of you, this could have been, you know, like it's just, you had no peace of mind. And there was no balance. And I think that you guys are moving past all of that. You're moving past this like domineering and controlling person, and you're stabilizing yourself, which in turn is making it easier on you. And then we have the World's card again. So this is the dark part of the World's card. The dark part of the World card is unable to make a commitment to something, or unable to learn that lesson in its totality, in its completion. It could be that you took advantage, you know, of cycles. You know, you didn't really embrace the cycles that was being taught. In the past, you didn't understand how, you know, you were being taught the same lesson over and over again on a karmic level, but you just, I don't know, couldn't stop, or didn't see it for what it was, or you just didn't expand the way that you should have each time it was brought up. And you just don't do that anymore. So let's look at the light part of this, because we're obviously in the past, you know, people like to come up from the past, guys, and they love to reemerge during energy like this. So if it's somebody reaches out to you that where you lose power, just, and I keep seeing the cobra, just understand the venom for what it is. Okay, so then we're going to do the light. Seer's deck, which is the light. Much different conversation. Not quite so intense as all of the past stuff. So after the completion, and after the World card, and after this giant event that we're going to have, you guys have a much more, look at this. This is no major arcana, right? And so with no major arcana, to me, what that can mean, can you see that? Yeah. What that can mean to me is that you guys are growing and learning and doing things differently. And when you're doing that, I feel like there's some flexibility and there's some moldability. If you think of the North Node that right now that's in Gemini, and even though Jupiter in Capricorn was in this quincunx with this North Node in Gemini, that's an expansion of the ability for you to gain control and to take power back in your life. So for you, what I think you might be learning is that to give and to receive is a powerful tool. It attracts the right energy to you. It makes you feel helpful and abundant. And I think for many of you guys know what it's like to be in somebody else's shoes. And so you're very understanding and giving. And then you've got the King of Cups here. You no longer have this completely analytical mind. You are in touch and in tune with your emotional self. You have a lot more control over where your emotions go and when they go there. And I think you also have this ability to stay in a much more peaceful state. You're much more submissive to it, but you're still in control, if that makes sense. Like there's a good balance between, when I see the King of Cups, I think of him as being intuitive, but also logical and rational about feelings. Meaning if that feeling is extreme, he's very elevated, and your masculine energy is able to kick in and say, well, that's not, I mean, that emotion is just irrational that I'm thinking that right now. Like, I just need to go and do something else to balance that out. And this is the Ace of Swords. And if you notice, I mean, because we had the Four of Swords in the past, this Ace of Swords is learning, doing things differently, looking at things from a different perspective. This is being a receiver and not blocking off things anymore from a fear-based mindset. This is being open to new things, new ideas, new opportunities for something more in the world. It's really beautiful. It's a lot different from this intensity from the past. Okay, guys. And then in the middle, we have the Mother. So this is from the side cards, and which I really, really love. I did a video if you guys want to look at this, because it's rocking my world, man. I can barely do a reading without this in there because it's so great. So let's take a look at the Mother. The Mother figure is seated. Well, I'll do this so you can actually look at something. The Mother figure is seated with her children in her lap, her youngest strapped to her back as she is seated in a cane chair. Her eyes are fixed upon her daughter and the young woman who will carry the mother's legacy. She is touching all the children in some way and indicating that her nurturing and affectionate spirit. This is the nurturer, the giver of life, the protector of the littlest ones. This is Earth Mother, a nature in all her life-giving capacity. Here in the Mother of Children, the very essence of the female creative nature. This is the responsiveness of nature and all things, and it contains empathy, healing, and compassionate care. This card governs motherhood, childbirth, parenting, and female strength. It can be the desire for motherhood, and it can represent one's own mother, a nurturing female, if it falls in the representative card. So for some of you, one of the things that kind of comes up in energy like this, because we have a ton of negative energy, is maybe you guys had a mother that followed along with dad, let's say, because I see the Emperor here in the past and this mother figure very prominent, as if you're learning something specifically from your mother. That's what I'm feeling. Which was a very big and hard lesson, I feel, because you have this World card here as well. Let's see what else here. So these next couple cards are going to be about kind of diving a little deep, and you have the fledgling. So I happen to know that the fledgling, just because I've read this 100 times, the fledgling is when the mama bird kicks the baby bird out of the nest, watches from above to make sure no predators are around, because she'll dive bomb the predators, but it's time for the baby bird to like move on. So maybe some of you had a mother that was very, I don't know, almost like emotionally disconnected. And didn't teach you a lot about how to be an emotional person. Just go out there, get it done, do it, pushing you to like work hard. If for some of you, this is the way you are as a mother, this could be some of the reasons where all that stems from. But I feel like for some of you, this has to do with that, you know, being pushed too hard maybe, and that was a little hard on you. Okay. And then we have Judgment. Ooh, I'm feeling like either for some of you that mother was a saving grace, even though I'm feeling like your mother was almost at that muted level, bound and chained, or a motherly figure, or whoever nurtured you. Whoever that was, they were somewhat strapped to a situation, a thing, some stability issues, some instability issues, something wasn't quite right. And it was really hard for that person. It's not like, when I look at the Judgment card, I think of the way that we grow up with this critical view of ourselves. And that's because it was imposed either by a father or a mother, or somebody in the family was very critical. Somebody who loved and nurtured you was very critical. So you were bound to those judgments. And I feel like you're breaking free from that, which is very nice, by the way. Let me just do this because we're running out of room. I don't know how much we'll be able to see, but let's do this over here. Okay. And then we have nostalgia. Focus on the here and the now. Yeah, moving out of your past. I feel like this world card, in the past you lost power, but you don't have that situation anymore. And so it is about just focusing on the here and now and understanding that it doesn't matter how long it took to get here. It doesn't matter how many lessons it took to learn this. What matters is the here and now. Okay, we have midnight. We've been getting this a lot. So midnight just is like a fun fact. Like if some of you are really into, maybe some of you have had a loss, like this could be a loss of a father. And you just never got to say what you wanted to say on this full moon, when the veil between the spirit world and the physical realm is at its thinnest. At 12 o'clock, maybe try to just talk with that person and release all of that stuff to that person and feel like they're hearing you. You know, maybe some of us, what it is when we're trying to release something from deep within our soul, what we wish we could have said we didn't say. So maybe for some of you, even if this is an overbearing husband, if this is anybody that from your past that you wished you could have, somebody who took away your power, somebody who did something, somebody who took something from you, it kind of feels that way. Then I feel like it's like time to talk about it. Yeah, water, cleansing, and then you did get the water here. So cleansing rituals are really important. I actually do these all the time before I even knew what a cleansing ritual is. And basically when I go into the shower, I take a shower and I just feel like my worries are being washed away. And I see them being washed away and going down the drain. And when I do that, if I feel lighter, I feel like the worries and the fear and the anger and all of those things are like bad things that are in me, but the water is just purifying that. And I'm clean afterwards. I have a very active imagination, so yeah. Okay, and these final couple cards are, because this is such a highly cosmic moment. This moment is monumental because it comes around once every 18 to 19 years. So I want to know, what does this mean for you on a cosmic level, on a planetary level, you know, on an energetic level? And you guys got Heart Compass. And I'm going to try not to read too much from these books, but as long as we get the gist. And this one is the Blue Messiah. The Heart Compass. The courage to follow your heart, for it is the guiding compass of your soul. You have embodied many lessons this life has to offer, which have naturally awakened your heart. Your soul has organically progressed to an expansive state of unconditional love. This expanded awareness has awakened you to experience your soul at its deepest core. Congratulations for having journeyed this far. And it just says, this rules the heart chakra. And your affirmation is, I am grateful. My heart is open to manifest love, prosperity, happiness in all areas of life, which is why you guys got wealth and love and partnerships. So, wow, you guys are going on to a different chapter. And then the next one you guys have is strength. It is 30, and that is from the Cosmic Reading cards. Okay, let's go ahead and read it. Okay, it says, mastering others' strength, mastering yourself is true power. This card comes to you to remind you of your inner strength and your courage. Although you may be feeling weary and hopeless at this time, do not lose faith and heart. You are a lot stronger than you realize. Moving through this chapter in your life, you will understand the lessons of having to release your inner resistance to fears by overcoming true strength, by uncovering true strength. You will have the courage to move through it with clarity, understanding, and compassion. And it says this rules the sacral and solar plexus. Sorry. And then it says the prayer you need to use right now is, Great Spirit, guide me through this period. Give me insight and courage and strength. I need to cultivate the source of the strength that is already within me. So it looks like you guys are onto this like part, you know, some of the hardest things in the whole wide world is to genuinely love after you've had tough lessons, and to like be able to like commit with your heart and to commit with yourself in such a way that, you know, it guarantees that there is some level of success that can be achieved. Okay, guys. So hold on. I'm just making a giant mess. Okay, guys, it's going to be your charms. Okay. Okay. Not very many charms for you in this reading. We have the infinity symbol. And I also think of like the strength card. It also makes me think of Leo energy, which is just very, and this fire energy. It just means that some of you are really understanding and value what's really special, what's outstanding, how you shine specifically in the world. We have the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands is a victory. It's an achievement. There's more work to do. There's still more there's further to go, but you guys have get to enjoy this part. I think of the watermelon, and this always reminds me of summer and just the freshness and crispness of like the melon. But I also just think about how easy it is just to plant the seeds from the watermelon and grow more abundance. And then family. We all know that family is kind of like a theme for you guys. And then we have the tree. It says, my family, my love. Wow. I feel like some of you had a lot of lessons regarding home and family life specifically. Okay, guys. Let's go ahead, put these over here. Oh. Been so tired lately because I work 7 days a week and then I do this channel, and it's like, and this stupid energy is like crazy. Okay, let's see what we spell. Oh my gosh, I immediately saw this. I saw fire. Yeah. I mean, and I saw fire and I saw bones. There's a fire in your bones, like all fired up. But bones has to do with, anatomically, with structure, with a strong foundation, with a firm foundation. That's what I see with the bones. I also see time. The fire energy, we had fire here, obviously. And this is a fire-based energy. fire just allows us to be very heart-based and passionate about the things we do. But time, everything comes in time. I think right now I would just recommend highly for everybody to be very patient and loving with themselves and tolerant, because this is literally the most insane energy ever. I mean, we have so much negativity, we have so much anger out there in the world. Time is gonna tell, I think, of midnight too, that indicates time. Either something has taken a long time, or it is now time, or maybe you need more time. That's what I'm seeing. However that applies to you. Oh, I love this. Here's what's really big with me, because I saw it in one of just the cutest movies like I've ever seen. What is the name of that movie? It's with Johnny Cash. Is it Johnny Cash? But she's like, you can't walk no line. And so whenever I think about relationships and boundaries, I always think, can you walk a line? Can you walk an honorable line, a loyalty line, you know, a respectful line? Do you have that capacity? Because if you don't, you can't walk no line, and therefore you're not in my life. Like, sorry, I got a little worked up, but that is like literally, that's so me. Like, that's so deeply embedded in me. Ooh, they're really talking today, guys. Or I may be more receptive because I'm not as tired. Many life lessons. For some of you, this could have been many situations that's led up and culminated to this point. When we think of the full moon, it's a culmination, it's a conclusion, it's an ending. And this is a big ending. This is a big conclusion. This is, you're never going back. This is, fear is not ruling this anymore, or fear has overcome you and now you have to do something about it. But it's like many lots. Put the lime. I do see lime, but do we have anything else? Oh, I see. Oh, we have two. We have Annette. And we have, whoops, my bad, mile. I think about walking a mile in someone else's shoes. I think of I think it's really important to walk a mile in nut. Nut just spelt itself, by the way. I did not spell nut. Yeah, it's going to be effing nuts. It's going to be freaking loony nuts out there. This energy is so ridiculous. I'm not trying to go too deeply into just how insane and ominous the energy is, but you're going to feel like everybody's just freaking ass nuts. Like, that's what you're going to feel. Because they are. They're freaking nuts. Anyhow, let's see what we have for numbers. I could go on. They're really talking today. All right, let's see our numbers here. We have 3. Oh, I love 3 is my lucky number. 3 is just, and I love 10. 10 is completion, guys. 10 represents a full moon. It is an ending. It's a culmination. It's a conclusion, no going back. But it also has to do with self, the 1. 3 is just for the balance. Again, we've talked a lot about balance here, but 3 is balance. It's like one extreme, and being in the middle. That's the way that I always see a 3. And then we have a 3 and a 2, which is a 5, but just the 3 again. And then the 2, being in balance in your relationships, partnerships, bonds, and unions. Learning how to maintain your sense of identity in a relationship, I see as well. We have another 3. 3 is a freaking number for you. I mean, wow. Well, if you think of here, Sorry, just doing a little numerology, but the 6 is 3 and a 3. It's a balancing the 3s. So this is, for some of you, this is not losing power in relationships, partnerships, bonds, and unions. This is, if you're going to communicate based on the level from their perspective. I think of the giving and the receiving aspect of it, being compassionate and loving, and knowing that you've struggled and other people have struggled, and therefore there's this exchange now. It's not so centralized on just focusing on yourself. There's a lot of energy about, it's like others, self. It could mean, because family came up, it could mean that you're simply the mother and you are really having to reach for all the strength you have to be supportive and loving and giving. Maybe the way that your mother wasn't. Maybe you're a different type of mother. And a mother could be a father. Just an FYI, I see it all the time, where the father is the nurturer, is the feminine energy in that family, in that household. So don't get caught up in roles, because I see roles challenged all the time. Anyhow, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a very happy Halloween, and that you go out there and you understand that this is like magic. This moon is magic, because they come around once every 18 to 19 years. I want to thank you for watching. Much love to all of you, and just go out there and be the change you want to see in the world. Bye-bye. This is Annette with Sun to Shine Astrology and Tarot, and every Sunday I put out a video to help you prepare your energy for the week ahead. And this week is so crazy eventful. We have, on October 27th, we have Mercury enters Libra, which is in retrograde. Venus enters Libra. So that's relationships, partnerships, bonds, and unions of any kind, what you hope to attract, what you want to attract, pleasure, that sort of stuff. Then on October 29th, we have Jupiter in Capricorn. It's in an exact quincunx with the North Node in Gemini, which means duality is like in a quincunx with like being conservative. So, and rigid and stuck and center, you know, like just really focused in on something. So that's hard. And then on October 31st, we have the full moon, which is in Taurus. This is a blue moon, which means there are 2 moons in 1 month. This is a hunter moon. And the kicker with this full moon is why it deserved its own video, is because the full moon that is going to be happening on the 31st only happens once every 18 to 19 years. Isn't that nuts? So that's an eventful sky filled with lots and lots of intense negative energy. And pile number 2, you guys were a glutton for punishment. You picked the devil. Now, if you view the devil like I do, and this is the Dark Mansion Tarot, beautiful box. I just got it. I'm putting out a video. This is my dream deck. The devil is a transformative time. It's a time to release yourself from your vices, from your predispositions, from your addictive tendencies. And it's a time where you are not bound by fear, but you are bound by empowering and moving forward with your life. So let's see what the devil represents for you. Now, the devil also represents all the Capricorn energy that's out there. And so the Capricorn energy is squaring off with everything. Everything. I mean everything. Mars in Aries, which is the ruler of Mars, which is Aries ruler, is squaring off with Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto, all in Capricorn, right? Mercury in Libra is squaring off with Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto, all in Capricorn. So this time something may trigger, or something may happen, because this full moon in Taurus, which is, it opposes the sun in Scorpio. Something may trigger a fear, or something may happen, or a culmination may happen where you're just kind of done being a servant to the situation, where you are done no longer having power or control over this thing in your life. And this is where you want to release yourself from this fear-based mentality, and you are interested in something more, something that creates stability and longevity and reliability in your life instead of the opposing. Okay, so this is Soul Cards 2. Wow, this is beautiful. This has to do with, if you look at this gentleman, this divine masculine energy, and don't get hung up on gender pronouns, divine masculine. There's a divine masculine and a feminine in every one of us. So this divine masculine is holding this flame that represents passion, heart-based, and being authentic. It's a very soul-based energy. Because if you think about what is at the heart of the earth, it's the molten core of the earth, right? It's lava. So at the center of you, there's a burning fire, a passion, a yearning for something that you value a lot right now. Okay, so let's take a look at your guys' tea. Well, you guys are really, and I think, look at the sun and the molten, and you've got the flame here, the flame and the flame. So happiness is really important to you. What you guys are going to be focused on during this full moon and this fire-based energy is what is valuable to you. The most valuable thing in the world to you is just happiness. Just simply stating, it's happiness. The birds to me are messengers, but they are also to me something that signifies, because Mercury, it's also Mercury energy as well, and Mercury, which is in Libra. So this is moving forward with happiness. This is, I used to get hung up here and I never could attain happiness. That would be the retrograde energy in Mercury. But this is about transforming that and moving forward and moving toward the flame. Okay, next you guys have great happiness. Holy crap. The harp, pleasure. The harp is a very pleasurable sound. It's very calming, it's very soothing, it's very Libran to me. It's just beautiful to behold. And when I think about the fact that the simplicity of the harp, the gentle sounds, maybe you're just wanting something that is, you're so sick and tired of working so hard to find happiness. You want it to flow and come easily to you. We have dog, protection from a powerful friend. Aww. But this also, dogs always mean loyalty to me. No matter what you look like, no matter what goes down in your life, no matter how many times you fail, the dog is always there. The dog is always there, being something that is going to always be there for you. And that is a powerful, to be able to count on and rely on and to turn to when you need love. Maybe some of you are yearning for that. And then we have crown. Honor, respect will come to you. I think of, because we have the devil and the happiness, what you guys value most is just respect and loyalty. I mean, that's what's really important to you. That's what brings you happiness. It soothes you. It doesn't make you fear-based. It makes you calm. Okay, you guys have the mouse, which is earth energy. All right, let's take a look here. I have to swig some coffee. I got up at 2 o'clock in the morning because I have to work today to try to shoot this video prior to going to work. So I am multitasking right now. I work 2 jobs and then I do this, which literally is a full-time job, these YouTube videos. So 3 jobs, I'm getting tired. I drink a lot of coffee. Okay, so let's take a look at your little mousey. Okay, guys, the mouse. Detail-oriented, small-minded, nitpicky, and nervous. The mouse has an innate desire to tend to the details. It is often spends its days fixing, preparing, organizing, and scrutinizing. Unfortunately, a mouse personality doesn't notice when they've gone too far. Soon they begin to have a limited and fearful vision of life and try to control every detail. This can be quite painful experience for both the mouse and those around them. When the mouse energy is at play, step back for a moment. It may be time to find more purposeful project to delve into, one that's worthy of your exacting eye. So when in balance, organized, resourceful, prepared. When out of balance, busy with no purpose. Here's what we do when we're fear-based. When we are a fear-based person, we tend to fall into really bad patterns. Things that give us instant gratification. I think of the Mars in Aries, which is in retrograde, squaring off with Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto, all in Capricorn. When we get like that, we get easily fired up, but we don't have anywhere for that fire to go productively. So it just burns everything down, right? It just burns the house down. And so it is a flame that is not, it's not generated for warmth. It's not controlled. So people who get in fear-based mentalities like this, what will end up happening is if they get triggered fear-based, then what they do is they try to evoke their control over somebody else or something else because there's a need or a want in the mind that is not being met. And so that, I feel like with the mouse's energy in particular, I feel like if you are not living in your authentic purpose and your authentic self, going after those heart-based endeavors, those things you're very passionate about, you are getting spun the hell up in all of this energy. Or you're getting caught up in other people's agendas and it's firing you up. So this is a time for you to take control over all of that, to release yourself from those tendencies, and for you to gain some self-control over getting fired up so easily. It could be that you're just completely bored in your life. Your life is, there's nothing to be fired up passionately about because you are seeking happiness. So your heart, what it's doing is it's compensating. You're getting passionate about other things, passionate about things that don't really matter to you on an internal level. And that can be very distracting. To say the least. Oh gosh. And look at the color of this card, this orange color. So it's in between red and yellow. Red is action-oriented energy and yellow is happiness. It's the balance in between the two, but it's also 81. So 8 is a very spiritual number. It's a very elevated number. It's successful, ambitious, driven. But if you do 8 plus 1 is 9. 9 is getting to the end of this point in your life. So if we're at a culmination, a conclusion, which would be the full moon in Taurus, then it's to take action and to lead it into a different direction. It's to be the leading role in your life. It's to take control over it. When you're a leader, you're taking control. You are the one, you're not under somebody's control, right? You're not under the control of this fear. You're the leader. So that's very interesting. Okay, guys. So we're going to do the Ghost Tarot, and inspired by the Zen Witch. I'm going to link her below. Oops, my bad. Go check out her channel. She's absolutely extraordinary. She does unboxings every single day, and she's just very insightful. But she did a light and dark reading that I personally responded highly to. So because we are in Scorpio season, I thought it would be apropos. And so we're going to use the Ghost Tarot for the dark energy. Plus, this is just very psychological energy. Anytime you get into Scorpio energy, it's very psychological. Okay. We have 20 Judgment, 6 of Wands, and we have the Sun card. Interesting. You guys got the Sun. Ooh, delicious. I love playing with cards. They're so crazy on point. Like, it's just, sometimes it's like, I don't know if you guys can see that very well. Whoops, you can't see this one really well. There. You can't even see. Why am I having such a difficulty right now? Like, what the heck? I do this 100 times, it does it fine, and now my hands just can't position right. Okay, there we go. Okay. So let's take a look at these individually. So we have 20. Look at the full moon in the background. And this is Judgment. Okay? And in this scene, the judgment of this entity is freeing this spirit, right? The culmination, the conclusion, the ending to this journey is the clarity, the conclusion, the culmination of what this person's life's work was about. So, I mean, in the past, you may not have been, it may have been difficult for you to have clarity. You know what I'm saying? Like, in the past, you may not have looked at the big picture, the broad picture. If you're looking at things from the perspective of your life up till now, that is a different view than just getting caught up in the criticism and the being critical of others and judging people improperly and judging things improperly and jumping to conclusions. Those are all negative things that is in this card, and that could be very past-based energy. Either somebody could have been highly critical of you, which left you feeling very fear-based, or you were very critical of others because you weren't satisfied with yourself. There were things about yourself that you found inadequate. And so therefore you cast your judgments upon others to make you feel better about your inadequacies. So that could be, or it could be somebody did that in your life. Somebody did that and made you then a very fear-based person and made you easily controlled. Then we had in the past here, we had this 6 of Wands. Maybe at times you guys became very victorious. You had small wins, but you never had that big win. The big win is happiness. The big win is honor, respect, and the dog loyalty. Great happiness. You may have had superficial, because we're in Libra like season, so Venus is in Libra and Mercury is in Libra, which is in retrograde. So in the past, you may have had small victories where you did get the recognition that you desired, but they were short-lived and they were unfulfilling. And they never, ever, ever, ever maintained the fire and the spark. This is the Sun. This card reminds me of There was a movie called The Others where these two kiddos, it was a girl and a boy. They were allergic to the sun, and so they never got to feel the sun, and they had to stay behind a curtain all the time because if they went in front of the sun, like their skin would just hive up. So this is just indicative of, you know, like being in the shadow, not being able to feel the fire and the happiness of the sun. The sun's energy is your core, your sense of self, right? So the sun is in Scorpio right now. Maybe you're hanging out in the shadows with this devil card. Maybe where you're at is in the fear-based mentality. If you're in the fear-based mentality, then you can't see the sun. You can't shine in that energy. You stay in the dark and you match the dark, right? So in the past, there could have been a propensity to do destructive things or maybe not fully be present. So let's look at the light. You know me and my light seers deck. I love it so much. It's in every reading, every day, forever. I even have a backup deck just in case. Okay. Okay. Let's take a look at these. Oh, we have the Four of Wands. Delicious. Oh, the Nine of Pentacles, you guys. And we have Death again. You guys got the Death and Devil. Oh my gosh. Like, too funny. Okay. I know why, though. Don't get all panicky about that. Okay, let's take a look at these three cards together. Right? So for one thing, you guys get a wish today's reading. We're going to make a wish together. And then we're going to talk about specifically these two cards, because these are very ominous and scary cards, right? So the Death energy is, I look at a death as a culmination, as an ending, as a conclusion. That would be the full moon in Taurus, right? And then the Devil's energy is the Scorpio, the sun in Scorpio, the fear-based energy. If you look at the little, you know, like into the guy's hood, there's the light at the end of the tunnel, the transformative energy. In the shadow, you have to go through a period of fear and pain and displeasure in order to want pleasure, to want something better, to be happier, to be more fulfilled, to seek the things you truly deeply value. It defines what you value when you get in a state of weakness, when you get in a state of fear, and when you get in a state of where you're not in harmony and not in peace and balance. So the Death to me simply means that what has changed for you in the last, 18, 19 years is that you know the power that fear has over you. And you want to conquer it. You want this energy right here. I mean, look at the Four of Wands. You want happiness. I mean, that's another sign you want happiness. You have to understand, let's say, if you seek relationships, partnerships, bonds, and unions because they have money, the status, they can take the lead because you don't want to. You know, they have everything that you value on a materialistic level. You are going to fall into some wicked squares because what you want is happiness, and happiness comes from a different place. It is not centralized in the physical realm. Money can't buy happiness. It is a true fact. It can buy comfort. It can buy ease of mind. It can buy pleasure. Pleasure seeking is really big. But that pleasure seeking is you just keep seeking more pleasure, because once you get that one thing that's pleasurable, then you want another thing that's pleasurable, because it's truly still not making you happy. It makes you happy momentarily, but it doesn't make you happy in longevity. But this Four of Wands is a moment of happiness. So guys, what do you want? And I want you to dream big, because I want you to live a happily ever after life in the material realm. This world is messed up. It's messed up. It's fear-based, it's angry, it's resentful, it's controlling, it's oppressive. It is so many bad things, death and the devil. What the hell does that have to do with you? You get to focus on you. You can't change the world. Collectively, as a voice, we can. We can become part of the change that is going to happen, but it always initially starts with self. Taurus energy is the second sign in the zodiac. So it's got to start with the self. And Taurus energy rules material possessions, but it's not just that. It's what you value, why you value it. It's about attaining what you value. Well, it looks to me like what you guys value is happiness. That requires you to take the lead. Maybe some of you are used to giving that power to somebody else. It's easier. You don't have to work that hard. I feel like some of you may have given that role to somebody else because laziness comes into play. To be honest with you, complacency comes into play. Okay, we have the stars, but in reverse. This is the side card deck. So let's see what that's about. Not had that. So let's take a look at this and see what the reverse. There we go. Okay, so in reverse. The star's reverse position indicates that the questioner is in disharmony at the present moment with his true direction in life, and that there is a wandering away from his original purposes or goals. Here in the distraction from the intended mission of our lives. In drawing this card, one is told to look ahead and to not to look up from the narrow perspective of everyday details and see the pattern as a whole. Now is the time to look at the overall plan and to move and act in ways which will be greater accord with the original purpose. This may also indicate that it is time to review, renew our goals. We may have to set our sights on something else because circumstances have changed. We may also need to reassess our desires because we have changed and of needs must move in a new direction. We have changed and of needs must move in a new direction with new goals and dreams. Sorry, that's worded a teeny bit weird. This card indicates the current goal or goals which are present upmost in the mind and operating under delays or difficulties. There is a danger here of unexpected bad luck too, if motives for pursuit of current goals are of less than a positive nature. This card will frequently appear reversed in a reading of someone who is motivated currently solely by negative or selfish emotions such as revenge, jealousy, and materialism. Examine your heart. This card is saying that you are out of step with your own music and that you may, if you continue this way, trip and fall. Well, that's what we have been saying. The stars are aligning in such a way where we're attracting what we are. And so if you're attracting a bunch of negativity, especially in relationships, partnerships, bonds, and unions and money, if you're not getting what you want or what you value in those said things, then it's because somewhere that lies in you. Somewhere you are part of that dysfunction. So what it's asking the devil is to transform and give birth to something different. That would be the full moon that's in Taurus. But also the devil is releasing yourself from those easy predispositions that make us kind of lazy in moving forward in a better way. Okay. So we have loyalty. We had loyalty with the dog, and we have loyalty. So for some of you, there's loyalty issues. There could be cheating, lying, deception. There could be, maybe if some of you seek relationships based on material wants and needs, then what some of you may have happen in your life is that you may not attract a loyal partner because you guys you want the wrong thing. You're seeking the wrong thing, and so you're attracting the wrong thing. That person isn't loyal, isn't faithful, doesn't understand how special you are, it's not what you're really truly passionate about. It's what you're settling for based on the material realm, the superficial realm, like that area where we're just looking at things based on just immediate wants and needs. Okay, guys, we have guidance. Well, you're here and you seek out a reading like this to find a bigger meaning to what you're going through. I mean, there has to be a point to all this. Like, there has to be a reason why you're being subjected to this lifelong lesson. For 18, 19 years, if you think about it, you're at this point. Think about 18 to 19 years. What have you been consistently going through? Well, maybe you just need a little help, some guidance. You could seek professional help. You could seek healthier relationships, bonds and unions. You can sit down and figure out your patterns and your rituals and your routines that have gotten you here and see if any of those need to be tweaked or modified and transformed. But more importantly, you're here because you want to know, you're giving power to something else to show you the way. And that's the first step, because that makes you then release ego a little bit for you to open yourself up to receive the answers that you seek. Okay. We have thorns. You guys have a fragged heavy reading, dude. Like, what the hell? Thorns. Weave together the crown you deserve. And leadership comes to mind. And flame comes to mind. Oh my God, and you literally did get crown. You know? I mean, this is definitely about this wish that we're talking about. Why don't you wish for something that's not materialistic? Why don't you just wish for the simplicity of happiness? I mean, when you wish on that level, you might be surprised on what you attract, which is all this Libra energy. What you attract and what you're actually truly attracted to. We have vampire, emotional intelligence. Okay. I don't know if you've ever been around, vampires, energy vampires. If you go around somebody and they just deplete your energy within minutes of talking to them, that is a power and control issue. They are doing that intentionally because some people do it where they transfer energy and they don't understand because they're in so much pain. But some people they abuse that emotional power over people, and they envelop them in their negativity so they can be the victim, so that they can get you and manipulate you and get you to do what you want. Some of you may have had several of these people in your life, or you may be this person that is the emotional vampire. When I think of the devil and death and this vampire, that's a lot of negative energy in your guys' reading. So something needs to change, more light. And I think of the sun card and how they're in the dark. They won't go into the sun. So you may be caught at this very intense time in your guys' life where you could be at a point where the sun can shine, but it's almost like you're standing in the way of that in some way. This culmination, this full moon in Taurus, this negative energy will push you to do it. will push you to address this issue, will push you or whomever's in your life to address, or you will push the other person in their life to address this issue, or you will end it. It will be done because you value yourself enough to walk away. We have boundaries. Oh, and then as soon as I said that, I pull up this card and it's boundaries. Drawing boundaries. Strong, firm boundaries. Not yielding. Not going back. Okay, guys. So, I wanted to know kind of cosmically what this all means for you, because we have so much energy, and when you think of a moon like this, you can't help but be caught up in the magic of something that's so rare, right? How many times does that come around in your life? Every 18 to 19 years? Like, this is a moment. And if you study the astrology, you can see the astrology. This is about taking back your power. It's about where you lose power, where you need to build power, where you need to transform. This is everything from a global level down to an interpersonal struggle because of the Mars in Aries, which is in retrograde energy. This is externally and internally. We're being stretched, and just our boundaries are being stretched beyond capacity. So what the hell does all of this mean for you? Well, your first cosmic lesson is about your intuition. Trusting your intuition. Let's go ahead and read that. This one is not the Messiah. So this one is the cosmic reading cards. The intuitive mind is a sacred gift, and a rational mind is a faithful servant. We have created a society that honors the servant and has forgotten the gift. When you pray with sincerity, it comes from the heart. But do you find that prayers often go unheard or unanswered? You are open, and when it comes to praying, dear one, but it comes to receiving, you are closed. But when it comes to receiving, you are closed. Most often, fears and doubts creep in from barricades that block messages and communications from spirit. The universe, God, source, or whatever you wish to call that loving presence that speaks to you through your intuition, dreams, visions, and a quieter, gentle voice that is often goes unheard. If you have drawn this card, Spirit is asking you to pay closer attention to that inner voice and intuition. It has been communicating to you the answers and guidance that you seek. And it says this has to do with the heart chakra. And it says, prayer. May I always have the wisdom and clarity to listen to the divine guidance and intuition within me. Okay, and the other cosmic message is from the Blue Messiah deck. Ooh, false god. Ooh, that ought to be interesting. Okay, let's take a look here. And it's 11, which is spirit. Energetically, 11 is just pure spirit. Divine guidance. Okay. So we have false god. Darkness is the absence of light. Ego is the absence of awareness. Ooh, I like that. Okay, many people associate false gods to the worship of statues, idols, deities, which are outside of their religion and belief systems. They don't, however, recognize that a false god hiding within themselves, this god is the voice of ego. The ego is the self-constructed identity that is made up of who you think you are based on your beliefs from your individual life experiences. It is the part of you that does not want to let go of the lower vibrational thinking patterns. The ego is the conflicting voice that you sometimes hear when you are wishing to follow your heart. Stay conscious, dear one, of the energy that you feed within you. And be discerning of the false gods within others too. The ego often hides behind its strong opinions and appears to be true. Aligning yourself with the god or goddess energy within is aligning yourself with the truth, unconditional love, and compassion. This has to do with the solar plexus, heart, and throat. And then the affirmation is embracing the garden within me with loving kindness. I feed the divine light within me with love. So true love is egoless. True love. False love is ego-based. You want something from somebody. You know, when you love somebody with all your heart and it's a healthy love, then it is a selfless love and it removes ego. So you know that you're not truly in love with somebody if all you are doing is focusing on your own wants and needs, and you can't look at things from that person's perspective because you don't value them or love them enough. Think of it that way. Or you can tell, that can help you gauge, like, is my ego at the forefront of this conversation? Is it just my perspective that I'm talking from? Am I looking at this situation from just my perspective? I am not considering that other person. Those are all ego-based types of ideas. Okay. Okay, so let's dig around. We didn't get very many, and I have a crap ton in there. Lately, I haven't been getting very many charms. We have the Lovers. Relationships, partnerships, bonds, and unions. Lovers also represent, maybe some of you guys are just used to being followers in relationships, and that is burning you. That is burning you every time. Then you get critical and nitpicky and unfulfilled. Relationships it teaches you balance, how to seek out peace and harmony within relationships. And if that relationship doesn't do it, then you move to the next one. Family came up again. Family was in my very last one. You saw me. I was digging around in there. So family, and I only have one of these charms in there. And then we have bird again. We had the bird over here. So you guys, it's about a message. It is really often during times like this. You could say things you don't mean. You could be very combative in relationships. You can start to fight for power and control to be happy. You're not happy, so you want it. So you're saying a bunch of stuff. That's all that negative energy. There's a lot of words are weapons. Be mindful of words are weapons. If somebody has pushed you too far, said too much, hurt you, their words are inappropriate. They're not considering you when they're spewing out their venom and they're just having verbal diarrhea, then, you know, that's a boundary that you need to draw and tell them that doesn't make you happy and you're not going to put up with it. You have the 8 of Cups here. That is walking away. That is loving yourself enough to walk away from things that are no longer serving you, especially if this situation is where somebody is abusing power, somebody is playing the permanent victim in the relationship, you're not growing with that person is another one. You become stagnant with that person. Okay, let's, for some reason it gave me a lot, so it might have been because I was talking, but. Okay, guys. Woo. Okay, let's see what we have here. Oh my gosh, I just immediately saw meek. Meek, timid, unable to stand on your own, playing the victim. Let's see here. Okay, we have, I think I see this. In the first reading, I had, do I not have an R? I don't, you guys. Let's see if I have this one. Oh, I do, magic. I do think that this is a magical moon. I I really do. I think that when you think about what it takes to align up in the heavens to make this event happen, it's truly magnificent. I mean, there's no coincidences. This is fate, destiny. This is karma, these kinds of things. It is truly deeply magic. There is magic to manifest from this. This, I would definitely put out some water in this full moon. This could be the most magical water if you want to do spells of like prosperity, spells of wealth, spells of ending suffering, abundance spells. Like this would be the water to use with that, because I was just seeing the magic. It's also something that like sometimes I'll take a dose. Like I have Piscean moon water that I just covet, and I'm definitely gonna put out hopefully we get a full moon and it's not cloudy, where it gets really energized with this full moon water, because you know, it could help you attract what you value most. Okay, let's see what we got here. Not sure. I may not have this. Do I even have a Y? What the front? I was thinking of family. I am so hungry. It's because all I do is dining out. I think of dining. Oh, what you value, you may value fine dining, or the finer things. Good food may be important to you. I think of that as well. Hot, the flame. I was thinking of the flame and the hot. Eek, scary. Are you like, eek, this reading sucks? Sorry I picked that one. Yeah. Ooh, the vines. Ooh, maybe you guys might find a cute vine that you like that's like, I don't know, just like inspires you through this crazy ass troubled time that's full of just nothing but drama at every turn, and just vines just make me laugh off some of the things that are like super serious. You're gonna be fine. Don't worry, it's gonna be fine. I'm looking. Oh my gosh, I love you so much, geek. Oh, geeks are my heart. I love me a good geek, because you know why? They're nerdy like me, and they just love reading and facts and statistics, and they love observation the way that I do. A good geek is a good friend, like no lie. Oh, let's see. Some of you may be down to go hang out, to be around people, or some of you actually may be feeling down in the dumps. This is negative energy times 200. And it can be a very bleak time. It can be a very critical time. It can be a time that takes away your power. It is hard. It's heavy energy. I know that will you concentrate on your wish? You know what sometimes I do when I get really upset? I'll like think about what I would buy if I won the lottery. If my thoughts are dark, I immediately do this little exercise where I'm like, if I won the lottery and it was unlimited funds, like what would I do? And it's just a shift of perspective and shift, like a mental shift into positivity. And so it does make things better. We were just talking about things that you can do to make things better when you are feeling down. You know, there are lots of things we can do to get control over our energy in the midst of all this negativity, in the midst of all this fear-based activity. Okay, finally for you guys, holy hell, this is a long reading. They're gonna be, because this is like every 18 to 19 years, you guys get some attention, whether you want it or not. Okay, so we have an 18. So we have 1 and 9. So the individual completion, the individual journey, the conclusion, what you are coming to in your personal life, the sense of self with this conclusion. But it's also just the 1 and the 9 equals 10. And 10 is completion, conclusion. You're moving forward. There's no going back. So we have the 3 and the 9. And I love this because you have 3 threes, right? Which is still an extreme if you take a look at it. And if it's like 12, then it's 1 plus 2 is 3. But also just we have a 3 and then a 9. But we also have 3 threes here if you broke it down. But also it's like we have the 3, the sense of extreme. And then the 9 is like, how are we around people? Like, I don't know. I can go to town on that, to be honest. And then it's just another 10, but it's a 3 and a 7. 7 is looking for those, for information on a deeper level, diving deep. You're not superficial with this. You know, maybe some of you are trying to find a way to balance out your extremes in a new way, in a way that's, you know, you're really diving deep into the world of like what makes you unstable. But anyhow, guys, thank you so much. Just, it's okay. This energy is kicking my butt, and it's literally the worst energy ever. And so I think we just need to concentrate on the things we can control and let go of the things we can't and have peace with that. And once we start doing that, then we can start building this, you know, 4 of Wands and getting those wishes fulfilled that are more sustainable, happy, they're stable. Anytime you get a Pentacles wish, it's for the long run. Anyhow, guys, thank you so much for watching. Much love to all of you, and just go out there and be the change you want to see in the world. I'll see you next week. This is Annette with Sun to Shine Astrology and Tarot, and every Sunday I put out a video to help you prepare your energy for the week ahead. And what a freaking week. What a freaking energetic week. Pile 3s, I'm going to prepare you. I have no idea what's going to happen, but pile 3 really tunes into me specifically and my gifts. So a lot comes out, and sometimes it's external stuff because I'm very in tune with global energy, world events, weather, stuff like that. And so I apologize if sometimes it veers off focus of you in the reading because it picks up on what I have to offer. But this week is the week of the 25th, the 31st, and it starts with October 27th. Mercury enters Libra, which is in retrograde. Venus enters Libra. And I've made a separate videos for all 3 of these events because they all needed their own dedicated video to help you stay positive. If I've made a video, that means there's a lot of negativity, and I am trying to help you find a way to stay empowered in the midst of a negative crap show, right? Then we have October 29th. We have Jupiter, which is in Capricorn. It is in a quincunx with the North Node that is in Gemini, and this is in the exact degree. This is a whopper. This is Gemini energy which rules duality. It is in an exact quincunx with control. You know, like how can you control duplicity? How can you control molding clay? Like you can't. It takes form, but you can't actually, it takes a while to make it take form, whereas Capricorn energy wants the control right now and the power over it. And then on October 31st, we have a full moon in Taurus. This full moon is a blue moon. It's 2 moons in 1 year. I mean, in 1 month. It's also the hunter moon. And this moon is so, this is why I made a video specifically for the full moon in Taurus, because this moon is so rare. It happens only once every 18 to 19 years. Sorry about that. I had to turn off my notifications, put it in airplane mode, or to like continue, because I use my phone for this. I have a camera, but my phone is like bomb, so why not? It's easier. But we have the moon, and the moon's energy, this is the full moon in Taurus. The moon's energy in tarot represents the subconscious mind, where we tend to idealize, it's where hope is generated from on an emotional level, but it's also like, it's also where we tend to get caught up in the illusion of something. And it's where we then become conscious of that illusion. It's the reality check, usually follows the moon card. And this is the Dark Mansion Tarot. I got my dream deck. I like this. I've wanted it for 2 years. But if you look, her head is above, like down below, as above, so below type of mentality in the moon card. We've still got the Twin Towers, but if you look at, she's getting a realistic expectation. She's getting the reality of where her emotions led her, she became conscious of. Her head is above. That's the way that I look at this card. There's no book that came with it, so that's just the way that I interpret it based on who I am. Whoa. And look, I want you guys to take a look at how cool the synchronicity is. This is above. Her head is above, if you look at it. So there is some clarity, some awareness, some enlightening going on with you. This is being highly conscious. Wow. And the purple as well. It's another indication. Okay. So what is your guys' tea for the week? Career. Maybe some of you are getting some clarity about your life path destiny. When I think of career, I think of what makes us valuable, what makes us an asset, what helps us become recognized in the world, in the material realm. How do we stand out? You know, what is so valuable about us that they choose us instead of somebody else? This could literally be that purposeful energy, you wanting to go into a direction of a career. If you think about it, there's so much negativity out there in Capricorn energy. That is the career, life path, destiny. Some of you are thinking about, you know, one thing that happens in really negative energy, earth energy, is it simplifies everything. It hones us in on what is important to us. We have next to wind chimes, peace and harmony. You know, if you are in a job where you are not happy in that job, or you are not getting the recognition or the promotion or the compensation that you deserve, that's not a peaceful state to be in. And that's what most of you guys are seeking out there, is the balance between hope and reality is what I'm seeing too. But also, what I see with the wind chimes too is you guys can do a lot of sound therapy. That's helpful in energy like this. If you're out there and just the powers that be out there in the world is just drawing you down, there's going to be so much chaos and negativity, so much unpredictability. Sound therapy is going to be a savior for you, by the way. We have rooster. an arrogant, boastful person that you should not cross. Wow, some of you have somebody in your life that is very overpowering. And if it's not somebody, it was somebody. We're dealing with a lot of past-based energy. We have Mercury in Libra right now, which is in retrograde. That is, they were overpowering to you. They did take your power away at some point. You learned not to cross. You learned to hold your tongue. You hate confrontation. And you avoid it. And you're much more of a people pleaser in order to resist that, the repercussions of this person that tends to abuse power. An older woman, or a relationship with an older woman. Some of you may have had a mother that had a very sharp tongue, a very judgmental tone, very critical, not very supportive, not very loving, not very nurturing. I don't know why I'm seeing that, but maybe because I'm seeing the rooster, a very argumentative person. But I am seeing some issues. All right, you guys have fire ant. Oh. Okay, I'm just going to tell you what my vibe is from this card. The energy from the world is centralizing around the election. Okay, I have to do this just because I can't not do it. Like, it's so strong. There's these two sides to this election, and they're just it's all fire-based. It's all action, and it's all ego-based. And there's all this animosity, and look at all of this aggression in this card. Oh. I don't want to talk about politics. Like, I hate it so much. But this card is like in my beeswax. Like, okay, hopefully the book has better insight than the vibe I'm getting. I just would rather not pick up on my vibe 100% right now. Because I know it's coming down, and I think we need to stay in a good headspace. All right. Fire ant. Aggression, rigid thinking, following orders. You're killing me, Small. Okay. Just be safe. Yeah. Okay. Fire ant energy flares up without us noticing. I am feeling like very ignitable energy. I'm feeling very explosive. I'm feeling temperamental energy. Okay, it's the force that attracts us to people and situations that feed our imbalances rather than those that counter them. Gossiping and blaming are a few of the indicators that misaligned fire ant energy is at play. You may also find yourself stewing on a person or a situation, only making things worse. How can you break free from the drama and the cool down? Fire ants are surprisingly sensitive and don't pretend the heat isn't getting to you. When in balance, thoughtful and disciplined. When out of balance, argues, excessive heat, and gossips. Okay. I want you to do something because the energy from this reading is like killing me. All right. Maybe I'm your older woman. You need to pull yourself up into consciousness. We were living in non-reality. And that reality gave us a false sense of security. And that security is being questioned right now. Volatility will break down what was not strong. And it must happen. However, the kicker to that is you could be at this elevated mindset where you understand the big picture, but other people are so busy resisting the changes that inevitably are going to be coming. There's no going back. So you are caught in this place where you can't talk to a lot of people about what's going on in your energy, because people are looking at trying to keep it the same and they're fighting about it. If you look at the elections, they've probably been corrupt for freaking years. The voter issue, the voting issue has probably been absolutely imbalanced for years. It's coming out. The reality is that there was voter manipulation and oppression and suppression of voting. That kind of stuff is coming out. It was always there. We became conscious of the illusion. With consciousness comes growth, and with growth comes growing pains, okay? Oh, whew. I knew this reading would get to me like hard. Like, I'm trying. I've been putting it off because I literally can't handle it. Whew. We've got more purple, guys, and that is completion. We are culminating. Now, one of the things I want to bring up specifically about Taurus energy, especially in all of this negative energy, is it's a slow moving storm, very slow. And this problem is going to go on for a while. This will not be, hey, election day happens, right? And we just know who won by a landslide. Heck no. There is going to be stuff that comes out that is going to generate a lot of fear and resistance. And with that fear and resistance will come the people trying to maintain themselves. And if you are fearful of a particular party winning, then what you're going to do is strive to have control over that. However you do that. Whatever side you're on, doesn't even matter to me. I don't even care. Like, that's you. You do you. I'll do me. But we are becoming conscious. No matter what happens, consciousness is happening, and it's not going away, guys. It's not. It'll never go back to the way it used to be. Ever. Okay. Whew. Okay, I'm gonna just find peace, find peace. I feel like that will be the struggle, right? That'll be the struggle with this sun. Okay, so we have the full moon, which is in Taurus, in an exact degree. With Uranus and Taurus. That is a storm. That is a storm that has been brewing. That is culminating and coming to the surface. It takes a long time for this storm to brew from that level, from that depth. But it's here. Neither the less. 2, 4. Oh my God, Tower. You're killing me. Why? Look, here's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to just live in now. Can I just not have to address reality? That would be awesome. I have my Neptune is in Scorpio. So like if it gets, my feelings get super too intense and I get overly sensitive. And then I start getting a lot of anxiety and yeah, I become a little bit fear-based. So I'm trying to keep it under control. 3 I knew would kick my ass though. God, being a life path 3 sucks. Okay, so we have the Tower, we have the 4 of Pentacles, and we have the 2 of Cups. Let's talk about this for you. Thank you, Spirit. It's going back to the individual. I can feel it. Like I can feel the transitioning of like I'm talking to you versus a download of like external. Thank you. Whew. Okay, the Tower. Change. Okay, this was just randomly on the floor, so I have to talk about it just because I don't know how it got there. So we'll talk about it. So we have the Tower, and anything that is unstable, anything that won't bring you happiness, peace, harmony, balance because of all the Libra energy. Anything that is not fair, right, just. Anything that doesn't have humanity-based mentality to it. Anything that has to do with abusing power, it is being, the form is changing, if I can say it that way, where what is no longer serving us is being destroyed and broke down, and so that we can build on a firm foundation. The Tower card is an ominous card, but it is also a very powerful card if you combine it with the Moon. If you combine it with the Moon, it means consciousness. It means you're no longer in an ideal state where that you are holding on to an illusion that can never be. You have a realistic approach. You now build things with awareness. Okay, then we have the Four of Pentacles. You have become a very protective soul. You've become a very insecure soul. You live in a state of lack because you have been through so much. When I think of a 4, I think of a 2 and a 2. I think of balance, right? 4 is structure. It's stability. It's your foundation. So for some of you, you've been very vulnerable in your life to instability. And now you don't want to do anything. You don't want to put yourself out there. You don't want to invite anything new. You're just holding back. You're holding back. And that's unfortunately going to break down, because what I think is going to happen for some of you is, well, this could literally be a relationship from the past. I'm not going to lie. Like, this is something that you used to value may come back from your past, because we do have Mercury in Libra, which is in retrograde. There could have been situations at hand where you guys just weren't in the right place, and now you're just revisiting that. Okay, I see that as well. But I also see that for some of you, this is just the ability and the receptiveness to consider having a relationship, a partnership, a bond, a union. Someone to go through this stuff with. Doing it alone, okay, you kind of stay safe, but it would be so much more validating to your soul and to your person, and you could grow so much easier if you could learn to invite love back into your life. I know that love has been a painful space for you. I feel like love has been a place where you lost a lot of power, and it's very hard for you. You feel unstable when it comes to love. Like, when I feel your energy, I feel like love always creates some sort of instability inside of you. Whether you lose yourself to love, you lose your sense of identity, or whether you actually have a lot of instability in your relationships, I think that that's coming to play. Now, mind you, we're in a time where a full moon is in Taurus. This is a magical moon. It's absolutely magical. It is the thinnest, it's the thinnest barrier between the spirit world and the physical realm. So you have the ability to have a direct download with spirit. This could be spirits. If you haven't let go of something, it could be the ability to release it. If there was a loss, you could release that as well and give it to spirit, and spirit could take your burdens. Let's see, what do we have here? Use the guy that jumped out. Oh my gosh, 9 of Wands. And if you look up here, the moon. Protective over this foundation right here. Not done. Oh, this one, okay. So this one is definitely about people being in a protective state politically, and I'm gonna vacillate. I'm so sorry, but 3 always is a weird pile for me. But I'm feeling like this is the law. I feel like this is like the armed forces needing to be called in to protect federal foundations. I feel like this is retaliation, civil disputes, civil issues where they need law enforcement. Okay, we're done with that card. Whew. Okay, light, the light. I want light to be shed on this reading and light to be shed in my soul. It's a lot of dark energy, Spirit. Okay, whew. Killing me. Reality is hard for me. So, yeah. Okay. Lightseer, what do you got for me? Do not give me insane cards. Yay! I love the Eight of Pentacles. Okay, Knight of Swords. All right. These aren't bad cards. Thank you. I'm going to take some coffee because I literally am sick to my stomach feeling the energy of the universe right now. So hard being an empath. This probably is the single worst time in the world to be an empath. No, I mean, there's been other world events that have been horribly tragic, and those little souls must have went through so much, but so much energy. If you're not good at shutting valves, if you're not good at shutting your valve off in energy, this is a turbulent time for you. We have the Six of Swords, the Eight of Pentacles, and we have the Knight of Swords. Sorry, I'm just a little sick to my tummy from all that energy. Okay. All right, let's talk about the Six of Swords. This is moving forward. I never see the Six of Swords as being a card that doesn't come with a consequence. You are leaving something behind. If you are moving forward, there is something in the past. You are leaving something behind. No matter how positive the move is, it could be, like, think of it. You grew up in your hometown and you graduated, or you're going off to college and you're going to a different town. It could be that simple, or it can be something as big as you're moving away from, I think of the red in her little scarf here, and I think of, when I see red, sometimes I see the heart, and then I see that the heart was involved in this decision, this conclusion to move forward. There was a lot of things that led up to this moment where you're just moving forward. You can't go back. There's just no going back. I love me a good Eight of Pentacles. I work 3 jobs. I work 3 jobs. I work 7 days a week, and then I do the channel. I'm pouring myself into my work because it's a great distraction. Pouring yourself into something heart-based and authentic and something that makes you happy and expressing it and putting it out there as a gift to the world. There is nothing more valuable. It's like when an artist creates art and somebody buys it and validates that artist's passion for that piece, right? Or it's kind of like one person watches my video and maybe puts a like on it. It validates me that all hours of work, one like keeps me going. You know what I'm saying? Or like just sitting back and knowing that you're taking action and doing something, like I think of this, or even this. This is all very action-oriented energy. It is taking action and moving forward, and you are the initiator. You are empowered to move into that direction. It's one of my favorite cards because I'm a workaholic and I love work, and I don't even know what to do if I don't work. Like, even if I'm at home, I'm still working on my house, still cleaning. Like, I don't sit. Just not, I don't sit around. We have the Knight of Swords. When you feel something And then it initiates the rational part, that initiates your brain. So you go from emotion to feel, right? Because emotion is momentum, right? But that is just the trigger to get your brain engaged so that you can actually then logically think about it. We have to have something activate movement and mobility. And the Knight of Pentacles is somebody who has a very acute, rational mind and makes conscious decisions about moving forward. So for some of you, this is you being incredibly conscious of a particular thing that does need to move forward. It's rational, it's logical. I don't know how heart-based it is, but intuitively, I bet you're being guided in a specific direction. Oh, we have yes, but in reverse. So, and this is the side cards. So let's take a look and see why yes is in reverse. 2. Okay, guys. So yes. Reverse the yes card may carry a warning. It may indicate that even though it looks good right now, there may be unexpected snags or problems. It can mean that things are not quite as good as they seem. It may also indicate that a hidden edge to having any wish granted. Be careful what you wish for, you may get it. We think we know what we want, not realizing the price for having our wishes granted. We may find that we get exactly what we want, only to discover that it isn't what it's cracked up to be, or that we still aren't happy. Look more closely at your desires when the yes card appears reversed in your reading. And then we don't need to go through that. Okay. All right. I picked up something else because of the yes card got activated. All right. Be mindful of where your mind goes, because you have ultimate control over the direction of your mind. I think of the Libra energy. That's a very, very elevated mind, right? But it's in reverse. It's in retrograde. So Mercury, the mind, is in retrograde. Anytime the Mercury goes into retrograde, this has to do with commitment issues. It has to do with attracting what you don't want. This has to do with self versus others, that dilemma. It could be laziness. It could be expecting too much out of others. Delegating your responsibilities onto others, not taking responsibility for your own life and your own issues. It could be unfair treatment. You may make movements that you may regret. When we go into a retrograde cycle, it rules regret. You revisit regrets, or you do things you're going to regret and then you correct it after Mercury goes forward. So in relationships, be conservative with the direction that you're going. Don't flee in fear. I'm seeing fleeing in fear for whatever reason, especially in relationships. You're protecting yourself. You're fear-based. So don't be fear-based. It's going to be very easy to be pulled into fear-based mentalities. If you're a sponge in the world, like I am, and you walk out into the world, you're in your house, you're fine. You walk out into the world and you get that pit of anxiety in your stomach and you just walked out. Like literally you were fine 5 minutes ago. You're a sponging up energy. If the world is energetically fear-based, you are receiving that into your energetic body. And so that's why it's really good to work and be distracted and focus on the things you can control, because there's going to be so much about this energy you can't control, but you can turn that valve off by redirecting your energy. Be mindful that there's just a lot of energy on this table. Sorry, I'm just feeling it so hard. Okay, cards really get to me because I'm visually oriented. So understanding 43. Look at her arms up in the air, receiving a message from Spirit. I really want you to take a look at this card. This would be a great card to meditate on. If you could screenshot this and then just like save it in your phone, I would. When you get to the feeling of where you're so overwhelmed and you're receiving such heavy downloads, just seek out peace and tranquility from Spirit and do things that put you in a peaceful headspace. It's going to be very, very important. The wind chimes. I was thinking of the wind chimes and how that can vibrationally that can change your vibration. Sound therapy is like an amazing thing. I use singing bowls. They're on YouTube, but they're free. You don't have to own them. And it's just the frequencies that it tunes me into. It changes the way that my brain is dispersing energy and what's being fired off in my brain and what's receiving that. So it's a thing. If you want some suggestions on how to like work with this energy. Oh, beautiful. This is another great way to stay. I think of also like, look at these two cards together. How beautiful is that, right? Gratitude and being receptive. You're a receiver. You don't open yourself up to receiving positivity. And the best way to do that is to live in a state of gratitude. I am safe. I have a warm home for right now. I have a job. I have money. I have unemployment. No matter how temporary some of these things may be for you, just concentrate on getting through the energy. We're going to have a rough couple weeks. I think of all of November. Toward the end of November, I think it gets a little better. We have a lunar eclipse that is going to be in Gemini. We'll talk about that because I already know what that means, but that's just my opinion. Okay. We have Evil Queen. You deserve sugar, not salt. Don't take this energy on and make it your own. This is not, what's going out in the world is not your battle unless it is your battle. And even then you could stay in a high vibration of that and understand. You're seeking out my reading to understand how to manipulate energy and how to not be fear-based at a time like this. So do the things that create the sugar in your life, not the salt. I mean, salt adds flavor, but sugar adds pleasure. So for some of us, it could be the flavoring. Maybe we could be wanting to consume knowledge to kind of feed our fears and our insecurities, information that we think may make us feel secure, but it will not. It will not. It will make you feel worse. Go to where the sugar is. That would be gratitude and this meditative state and some chimes or some sound therapy. Like, you have the power in your fingertips. Oh, we have Skull of Darkness, blind spot. Ooh, ominous. Okay. Just because I'm not like, this is the Halloween Oracle. I'm not the queen of my skulls, man. You know, this, by the way, this guy this is such an insightful little deck. I can't see just using it for Halloween. I wish it wasn't called the Halloween Oracle because it's I think it's bigger than just a Halloween kind of deck, or maybe it's definitely a shadow working deck. So it says, we may not wish to delve there, the shadows, the darkness, the unknown, and yet we search, we reveal our power, it has grown. The beautiful and mysterious Skull of Darkness encourages us to look at the part of ourselves that normally remains hidden or as unseen as possible. Oh my gosh, this is the moon card too. Ooh, it's delicious. We may not appreciate or like certain aspects of ourselves, and yet sometimes our greatest treasures lie within these areas. How many times have you heard the famous artists or people extremely successful in their fields being bullied for being so different. And yet it is their very differences from others that make them so very powerful. I do have a tendency to wish I was more normal. It's really hard to be as unusual as I am. I do have my 10th house in Aquarius, so I'm never going to be like everybody else. Like, that's just never going to happen. Additionally, all of us at some stage of our lives have a certain blind spots that may cause us grief and trouble. Although we cannot see the issue clearly, it is a repeated patterns and pain that may alert us to them, symptoms, if you will. For example, the same things that keep happening over and over again. We may be betrayed repeatedly, fail at something repeatedly, not complete tasks continually. Peace and pattern breaking can be achieved by doing the work in uncovering our blind spots, or even consulting trusted close friends or professionals to assist us to see what we cannot. Ooh, I love this so much because, dude, look, do the work. And this is not wanting to accept your reality. The Moon card is all about creating an illusion out of your reality and refusing to accept your reality for what it is. And this card is all about consciousness of those spots in us where we tend to be on the weaker side, what we need to be conscious of in our lives. Made a huge mess. The Virgo-ness in me just can't live there. And this is doing the work. For some of you, this could be seeking some assistance. This could be a great time to get some professional assistance. Look, everybody has limitations. Everybody's human. Everybody has sensitivities that are specific to them. This blind spot that I'm talking about is something that is being revealed right now. So maybe why you haven't gotten this yes granted, maybe why that yes has not happened for you yet, is because there's still something that you're blind to, something that you need to fix. Okay. Oh, we have fertility. Beltane. You guys are on the road to this. Companionship, love, support, connection. You are. It may not be right now, but the level of connection that we are going to be connecting at is in a morphing state. We used to connect very superficially. If you take a look at our dating apps, it was swipe apps. I looked at you, swiped, didn't like you. Yes or no? I mean, good God, that's how we make a connection with somebody. We frickin' swipe. You know, or we make a connection because, I don't know, of their zodiac sign. Like, we make a connection with somebody because, you know, we're physically and chemically drawn to them. I mean, these things are so superficial and they don't mean anything in real, true connection. So guys, I know that so much is going on energetically in the world, and so I'm just wanting to know, what does this mean for you cosmically? Because I am essentially a little cosmic witch right here. like I love me some cosmic energy. I believe in energy. I believe we're being inundated, just like the moon is responsive to the tides. I mean, the ocean is responsive to the moon's gravitational pull. The lunacy of the moon is a thing. It's recognized by police departments and hospitals. I mean, I literally have people come to me who are not even into astrology and say, gosh, is there a full moon? Like, what is going on? And they're always on point with some sort of energetic anomaly that's going on at that point. They're always dead on. Not that they want to know it all, but they're usually right. So cosmically, ooh, my friend, ooh, you got the shadow self. I think of, look at this, these guys right here. We create illusions to avoid the shadow. The blind spots. So I'm very interested to see what this says about you specifically. That one is the cosmic reading cards. Okay, 28. Alrighty, pile number 3. The shadow self. Unless you learn to face your own shadows, you will continue to see them in others because the world outside of you is only a reflection of the world inside of you. You may be wondering why you've been facing so many triggers and challenges as of late. Things have been going well despite a few road humps along the way. But the challenges have been appearing all around you and recently seem so overwhelming and disorienting. Just when you thought you had everything under control, it seemed as though the world has suddenly shifted. Spirit understands your confusion and uncertainty during this period. Rest assured, dear one, this is a time of cleansing and clearing all that was avoided and hidden inside of you. Healing of the worlds within is taking place and raw emotions are resurfacing. Sorry, I'm just keep trying to not have that glare on there. You are exploring and uncovering the darkest shadows of yourself. And this is why you are being faced with insurmountable challenges and triggers. You see, it is only from being pressured that this darker side of you surfaces. This is important and necessary for you at this time. As hidden parts of you surface, be gentle. Send love and compassion to the wounded parts of yourself. If there is rage, send love. If there is hurt, send love. May love reign on all aspects of you, whether they be dark or light. This period can be quite testing, being challenged by unforeseen triggers, triggering by people closest to you. Through this cleansing process, your level of consciousness is expanding to new and heightened states of awareness. It says the affirmation, this is the base or the sacral chakra activated, and it says, I am healed as I acknowledge all aspects of myself. We cannot change what we do not acknowledge. And the shadow is a place where we have put things inside of us that were sad, heartbreaking, that were challenged our egos, bruised our egos, split our egos. It's the place where we put all of the unweighted, it's like the garage, right? It's like you put everything in the garage, out of sight, out of mind. It's not in the house, it's in the garage until like you open the garage door and it's like you can't even get your car in there because there's so much crap in there. That's the shadow self, right? And then we have, this is the Blue Messiah cards. And then we have Blue Star. Ooh, that's very, very cosmic-y. You love me a good cosmic energy. Okay. I'm all about presentation. I don't know why. Sorry. Okay, here we go. So Blue Star, follow the light of the blue star. It will lead you to the temple of the truth residing within your soul. The blue star is your guiding light through the darkness, and it serves as a reminder that the blue flame of truth burning within your soul. To follow the blue star is to see beyond the illusions of the mind and to walk firmly in the light of your deeper truth, connecting you to the oracle within you, the divine, the mystic, the cosmic traveler of the worlds within worlds. With the rising and expansion of consciousness, you move closer to the guiding light of love within you. In this place of light, ascending teachers and masters dwell. I just want to make sure this isn't, okay, it's not, sorry. As a collective union of divine love, they shine their love light for all to see. Together, the light inspires hope, creativity, and love, and guides pilgrims and seekers of truth in their journey back to home amongst the stars. You are being guided always, star being. Already you have journeyed far within your own kingdom of light. Your courageous soul is being honored by the divine light within you, continues to shine brighter each day. With the growing luminosity of your radiant light, you move closer to convergence and unity within the star family. This has to do with the throat chakra and the third eye. And the affirmation is, I am guided by love of the blue star to the light of the truth residing within my soul. I see this as a time of truth for you. And everybody, where we're weakest, where we're strongest, and where our weaknesses lies, that's where the energy drain is. That's where the power is lost. If we do not acknowledge our shadow self, if we do not acknowledge the inner child, the wounded inner child, if we don't acknowledge these things within us, then our energy is always being drained. And we can never feel the power in our lives because it's being siphoned and drained into this dark spot. It's almost like there is, oh, you know what it is? It's like a door. It's like a door that has a gap under it. And you're heating the house, right? And it's never really warm because there's this big gap under your door. And you're just heating and heating and heating, spending all that money trying and exerting all that energy. But it's all going out the door, under the door. So you gotta address that gap. You gotta fix that gap, right? And so the shadow self that dwells within you is the gap, is where you're being drained. What I've been doing, very personal, but what I've been doing is I've been looking at fear. Every time I feel the anxiety or the fear or the wanting to run, I'm a runner. I hate commitment. These are all, by the way, issues that are very relevant to the energy out there. I literally represent everything bad, like in relationships anyway. Like I have a fear of commitment. It feels because I went through this stuff. I'm sure all of you can relate to this. I'm almost positive. How many of you have been in relationships that have just freaking destroyed your heart? And now you're protective. You are not going to let it happen to you again. And so then what is generated from that, that energy, what is then generated from that energy is a fear, and the fear of commitment. So if I block myself off from committing to anybody or anything, I'm never going to be hurt again. Fear controls you and controls that section. That is where your energy drained, because you should be receiving love and you should have healthy partnerships and you should have healthy support systems, but you don't because you've blocked it all off, the good and the bad. Okay. Alrighty, guys. Fucking heavy reading, man. Killing me, Smalls. What can it be like? Love, light, sparkles. No. I think it's because it's like I'm very into psychological stuff too, and I spend a great deal of time in doing interpersonal work. So if you're attracted to me, you're attracted to somebody who's being enlightened to those sorts of energies. Okay. So let's see what all that's about. We have slightly bitter. I can't with you. Slightly bitter. Dude, I think I might be more than slightly bitter. But this is all. I can't. Like, you've got to laugh, dude. You got to laugh because we were just talking about it. Slightly bitter. Okay. Or you can make lemonade out of lemons. Calling me out. Shut up. We have dog and then didn't, or it was in the last reading that we had the dog. But the paw print, this is imprinting. When I see prints, like paw prints, I think of imprinting. There is your soul touch, that there's something was imprinted. You understand what I'm saying? Like you look at a paw print and you're outside, you know that there was a physical being there and that print was left there. Their energy was left behind. It's really amazing to see a paw print for me. Very symbolic for me. Seeing things clearly. We have had a lot of talk about opening our eyes, seeing things for what they are, seeing them clearly. The color red, but this is also like a diamond, a red diamond, and I think of like on playing cards, and then I think of the pentacles, you know. So just like what we want, what we need, what we value, taking action to get those things. That's what's coming to mind. This is the ability to it's the ability to have some level of reality, but to hope for more. You know what I'm saying? Like to fly above. So when I think of like a winged horse, I think of the ability to fly above. So the horse is the reality and the wings are something that is hope, represents hope, the flight. So a horse represents movement and action-oriented energy. The wing is soaring above that. It's using the intellect as well. Then we just have this to me is just so inner childish. Or a kiddo. Or a kiddo is really, you're really grateful for your family, your kids. But this could also be definitely some inner child work. Because there's no face in this little child. So you may be unfamiliar with inner child work. It's worth, if you guys are, to really take a look at what inner child work is. It's very interesting. Okay. We are on to the next bitter. It's killing me. Okay. Oh. I knew I was going to start to go into... Okay. We're down to the line. Okay. Okay, what do I see first? Wow, scare. Some of you guys may be very scared right now. There's a lot of scary energy. This was a very ominous. This is a lot of reality. It's very scares. It brings out the fears. Because we flat have fear. Fear and scared. Okay, so some of you are fear-based and maybe a little scared of what's to come. You may be very nervous about what reality is going to turn into. You know that you don't have any power over it. That's frightening for you. Maybe you're a control freak and maybe you like a lot of power over things. Maybe that's part of the shadow that you're facing inside of yourself is, it's driving me crazy that these aren't. Okay. Oh, interesting. I see. Very woke energy. So there's a lot of purple, and we were talking about being at this galactic level. It's very woke for people to be above just being a receiver of energy and just being caught up in the chaos and superficial. Like it's very deep and woke to be something that can connect to something bigger. There is a lot of purple in your reading. A lot of purple. So that's that's a third eye activated, that's opening up to receiving something more than just what you have been going through. I heard this. Are we going to be okay? We are going to go through it. And astrology wise and energetically wise, I am picking up on some very intense times coming. But we are going to be okay because this is needed. We have to change. And the tower needs to happen, honey. The tower needs to happen. It has to happen for us to be able to move, to not experience this level of instability ever again. We need to have this go down. Stuff just needs to burn down. That's just all there is to it. Oh, what? Really? Oh my gosh, you guys, look. Night energy. We had, where'd he go? We had the Knight of Swords. Oh, this is people out there defending, taking care of us, protecting us. You guys may be feeling very protective over your family, over what's going to happen. You may be the one that's preparing for everything to go down. You know what I don't notice? How funny. I don't think we're going to learn a lot for a long time about the debates. About the presidency. I'm going to tell you. I'm doing, by the way, I'm going to be doing a big special on the day of the election. Because we're going to need all these people, these knights out there protecting us from what's about ready to happen. Yeah, it stinks. Fake. I saw fake. I'm sorry. I saw fake. Fake people. Fake agendas. People are going to give us a lot of fake information, guys. It's going to go down. We're going to have to be highly, we have to use our elevated mind for sure to see through the amount of drama, especially with the Moon card. You guys got 11. Straight up, Spirit. Straight up, you are getting some very intense information from the divine. Wow, Spirit is going to protect you. Don't you guys worry. 13. We've got 67 here. So 6 is balance and 7 is diving deeper. Looking for those answers on a deeper level. Obviously, if you're diving this deep into the subconscious and fear and to those shadow work, you guys are really... it's an 8 and a 9. So this is a synchronicity. When I see an 8 and a 9, I see you going, you're trying to be successful and abundant, ambitious, and you will be able to do it with the 9 because the 8 goes to the 9. But also... 17, and then if you look at 1 plus 7 is 8, kind of like it, you will receive what, let's just say, what you put out there, you receive back. However hard you're working, you'll receive it back. You'll get validation for the hard work you're doing. And then that's just completion. Okay, guys, well, this is your reading. They're all really long. That's because, damn, there's so much energy. But just thank you so much for watching. Much love to all of you. Just go out there and be the change you want to see in the world. I have made individual supportive videos for the 27th and the 29th and the 31st because those are high energy days and I thought you guys needed a little bit of Annette love. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I'll talk to you next week.